Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Nomakaya Monaheng. On today's video, I'll be showing you how to measure yourself or a client. I'll also be sharing tips and tricks on how to go about it. So these measurements are your usual basic measurements that you will need to measure if you are doing a dress, a top, or a jacket. So to start off, if you are measuring yourself, you will need to stand in front of the mirror. Make sure that you are comfortable and your legs are also comfortable. Another thing that is very important is appropriate clothing to measure yourself in. For example, on my doll today, my doll is very gym wear. So gym wear is very comfortable. It is lightweight. And most importantly, you must have your bra on, especially to take the bust measurement, because when you are going to wear your garment, you will have your bra on. And then another thing that you need to note is that you must make sure at all times that your tape is flat. So if you are measuring your bust, just pull it through, make sure it's not bent anywhere, and then you are comfortable. And then it goes on like that. You can measure from the side like this, right? Or you can measure from the front, where you will need to make sure you're comfortable, and then put in your measurement nicely like that. And also avoid putting your thumbs under your tape, so that will also add a few centimeters to your measurements. So just measure like that. So let us start. What you will need is a measuring tape, as well as a notebook and pen to write down all the measurements that you're going to take. You will also need an elastic band or just a normal strap to put around your waist. I will show you on the video how to use this. So let's get into it. I will bring the doll closer. Yes, this is fine. So we'll start off with the neck. For the neck, we need the circumference, the neck width, as well as the neck depth. So for the neck circumference, you will go around your neck and measure all around, and then you write those measurements down. And then now we need to go for your neck width. That is basically half of the neck circumference. So you will go this way, going that way. That should give you your neck circumference. Now for your neck depth, that is from the top of your shoulder. If you can look here, your shoulders are not straight, they're a bit slanted. So from the top of your shoulder, you will put your start of your tape there, and you go down to your top of a clavicle. So this depends on how deep you want your neck depth to be. That is all about the neck. And then the next measurements that we'll be doing is your armhole. Armhole, you definitely need that for your top, for your dresses, and so forth. So for your armhole circumference, you need to find where your seam line is. The seam line, the easiest way to find it is right under your armpit, which is right here. That's where your seam of your garment usually goes. But if you need to do it practically, just put your arm on top of your shoulder, and then just do this up and down movement. Where you feel the protruding bone move, that's where your armhole measurement will go. Like I said, just go under your armpit and you wrap the tape around like this. Wrap your tape all around and you get your armhole. With this measurement, you just need to make sure that it is comfortable, because you don't want your clothing to be tight around your armhole, because you need to move your arm. The next measurement is your bicep measurement. This measurement is very important when you are doing sleeves, to make sure that your sleeves fit perfectly. My dog doesn't have any arms, so I will do this measurement on my body. So for your bicep, put your arm in an angle like this. Take your tape and wrap it around the largest part of your upper arm. So if you look at my arm, this is the largest part of my arm. You will take your tape, wrap it all around, like this. So measuring yourself takes time. Just be patient with yourself because you're doing it all alone. Our next measurement will be the bust measurement. For your bust measurement, you need to make sure that you are wearing a bra and that you're measuring at the largest part of your bust, which is usually around your nipple area. So you'll measure right on top there. This is how you measure your bust measurement, right? So another measurement that you need to do on your bust is your bust length. So from your nipple to the other nipple. We need that measurement to measure 4 darts. That is your front darts. Like I said, with the waist, you need a string or an elastic strip. Why you need that is that you need to put it in place so that it doesn't move around, especially when you need to measure the length as well. The safest way to measure your waist, another tip, is that you put your fingers where you think your waist is, and then use that waist. Even when you are measuring a client, just ask them, where do you think your waist is? Where they put their hands, measure that point, because that's where they feel most comfortable at. Take that elastic or strap and just tie it there and leave it there until we are done with all the measurements. Alright, so to measure your waist, what you will need to do is to go around your waist like that. If you believe this is a true waist, you go around it. Now we need to measure the hip. So your hip is usually the biggest part of the bottom of your body. So if you're looking at my door, this is the largest part. So if you also curvaceous, that's definitely where you're going to take your measurement. So a hip measurement is not where your hip bone is, but the largest part of the bottom of your body. You will take the tape and go all around and get a measurement for that. And then you put your measurement down. Right? And then now we are done with all the measurements that you need for the front. Now we are done with the front measurements that we need. There's some back measurements that we need as well. The first measurements that we need is your shoulder to shoulder measurement, and that's also from your seam to seam lines. So just right under your armpits, you will measure this measurement. This is your shoulder to shoulder measurement. Another measurement that we need is your back length. So that is from the nape of your neck to your waist. So that is usually where your shoulders and your neck meet. Where there's a protruding bone, that's where it is. So you'll measure from here to your waist. That is your back length. And usually with whatever you're going to sew, there is always a back opening, so it's right where it needs to be. So for pattern drafting, for a dress or for a top or for a jacket, these are the measurements that you will need to do. You need to measure from your shoulder, that is the highest point of your shoulder, which is just before the neck, shoulder to your bust. So when you measure, you go on front, on top of the bust. You do not measure to the side. Shoulder to bust, you have it. Shoulder to under the bust, there you have it. Shoulder to your waist, it will be there. Shoulder to your hip, it will be somewhere around here, where the largest part of your hip area is. And then the other one is shoulder to length, depending on how long you want your garment to be. That will be all dependent to you. That's how you measure. So all measurements go from your shoulder down. This is the end of the video on how to measure yourself or measure a client. I hope that all the tips and the tricks that I shared with you, you're going to use them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment down below, and then don't forget to subscribe. #Let's Sew with Kay.